This is the final Let's Play we will do together. Probably. It's come to this. The end.
Well, damn.
Yeah, because tomorrow I am streaming Legacy of Kain Defiance. And I mean, I don't know if it's going to necessarily end tomorrow, but I plan on playing through the entire game, whether in one stream or two streams or whatever the case may be. But sure, we could talk about Spider-Man 2. Why not? See, you can play whatever games that you want. You can enjoy whatever games that you want. And I will respect your opinion. However, a lot of people can't just admit that a game is simply not for them. Rather than simply admit that, hey, it looks like it's a good game. It's just not for me. You know? People never want to do that. They just want to be like, ugh, Spider-Man, yuck. I don't want to play Spider-Man. Bad game. It's like, no, it's not a bad game. It's just not for you. And that's okay. Maybe you don't like superhero games, you know? Maybe you don't like superheroes at all. Like, and that's fine. But let the people who genuinely enjoy superhero games and enjoy Spider-Man, let us enjoy the game. And it's a good game. For example, there are games that I personally don't care to play. Like, I don't know, like, I think a while back, like, I played, like something like Farming Simulator or something, you know? It's a good game. Yeah, that was quick. Farming Simulator is a good game, but I don't care for it that much. It's not my type of game. It really isn't. And maybe it's just one of those things where I need to play it more and see if there's anything that I would actually find more appealing. But if I'm being totally honest, I don't think that's a game that I am ever really going to enjoy that much. Or maybe I'll enjoy it to a certain level, but maybe not as much as somebody else who enjoys those types of games.
I hate all the people that they're complaining that Spider-Man 2 is, it's woke propaganda and all that bullshit. Like,
Yeah. Like there are a lot of people complaining that like Black Cat is that she talked about her girlfriend and everything, and it's like, why is that an issue? And I actually didn't even know this, but apparently she has actually been bi for quite a long time. I didn't know this, but even if that was something that was new, who cares? Who gives a crap? Is this really something you want to make such a big deal about? Like, of all the other things going on that we could be talking about, the sexual orientation of a freaking video game character That's the thing that ticks you off.
Okay.
Is the most smallest tiny little detail, like Black Cat saying girlfriend and the pride flag that you can find uh, in New York, like on like the pride flag mural and stuff like that. It's like it's the tiniest little thing. It's not shoving it in your face. Like
Right.
it's not like you opened up the game and the first thing you see is this big old pride flag that's just slapped right into your face as soon as you open the game. That's not what's happening. It's just a small little detail that's saying, hey, these people exist. Please just show kindness to these people. That's all you have to that's it. That's all that's happening. They're just simply acknowledging the existence of other people, of all sorts of different variations of people, and you want to throw a fit about it. I'll never understand that for the life of me. Oh,
I neither will I. I don't.
another thing that's bothering me. There was a statement by Sony saying that um, Miles, they're planning on Miles being the quote, like he's going to be the main Spider-Man. And people are
Yeah.
so like up in arms about it, and it's like, why are you guys upset? That was very clearly what they were trying to lead us into. At the end of Spider-Man 2, it's very clear that Peter is thinking about eventually hanging up the suit. Like
Yeah.
and Peter's not done yet, but it's very clear that soon he will be, which should be expected. You can't expect Spider-Man to forever be Spider-Man. Eventually he's going to get to a point to where he's going to get exhausted. And so many people are just so upset like Peter Parker will always be the original Spider-Man. He's the real Spider-Man in my book. It's like, yes, he's the original Spider-Man. But that doesn't mean that he is the only Spider-Man, and we can't just. And another thing that is so frustrating to me is it's like Sony, ever since they started making the Spider-Man 2 games, or, well, I mean, the Spider-Man franchise in general, ever since they started doing that, and Insomniac started doing that, um, they have essentially created their own universe. This is not meant to be the MCU or to be aligned with any other like comic variations, because I don't understand how people fail to realize this, but yes, there are comics, yes, there are movies, yes, there are different video games and stuff. But at the end of the day, there are a multitude of universes being built. And some of them we care for, and some of them we don't care for as much. But in my opinion, I think Insomniac has done a really good job at creating this new universe of Spider
Same.
Man. They have done a tremendous job. And the thing is, like in Spider Man 2, it's very clear that there's no main Spider Man in Spider Man 2. Both Peter and Miles basically share kind of equal playtime and everything, which
Yeah.
was kind of the point of the whole thing. But also, but I would also say, like, you know, Another thing is there's two things are going to probably happen. One, Miles Morales is going to probably, maybe, get his own standalone game again. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, even if that's not what happens, Miles might be getting a little bit more playtime than Peter will in Spider-Man 3, which is completely fine. I see nothing wrong with that because at the end of the day, playing as either Peter or Miles, obviously they have their differences in terms of gameplay and everything, because obviously, you know, Peter now has the anti-venom now, and Miles has, you know, his venom punch and everything. But the point is, like, they obviously have their unique playing styles, but at the end of the day, when it comes to basic fighting and swinging mechanics and stuff like that, Miles and Peter are still basically the same in those ways. You're still playing as Spider-Man either way. I never once felt when I was playing as Miles, I never sat there thinking, "Oh man, I hate playing as Miles. I wish I could play as Peter right now." No. I enjoyed playing as Miles just as much as I loved playing as Peter. Every step
Yeah.
of the way, it was fun no matter who I was in the game. I didn't care which Spider-Man I was playing as. I didn't care whether I was playing as Peter or whether I was playing as Miles. At the end of the day, I was playing as a Spider-Man. And it was enjoyable every single second.
Yeah. Like, I've seen people complaining about Miles' new suit that they like people seem to hate that suit.
I don't understand that either. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not my favorite, but I don't think it's that bad. It's
Neither do I kind of
really
like
not
it.
that bad. And like you can get different color variations. I like the one where like the blue, you turn that into uh like red instead. I like that version a little bit better. Um but I like the suit in general is not a bad suit. I don't know.
Yeah.
People are just complaining about nothing. I really don't understand it. And it's like, why are you guys mad? Like, at the end of the day, somebody at Sony decided, because the thing is, like, obviously they're gonna want to make a new suit for Miles, main story wise, because Peter was obviously gonna get some new suits because of the symbiote and everything, and then the anti-venom and all these different things. So why shouldn't Miles get a new main story suit? And Sony tried their best on doing that, and some people don't like it. You're entitled to your opinion, but geez, you people are like so harsh.
True. So true.
Like, man, you don't have to like it, but geez, like, it just seems like so some people are just so pressed about it. Like, I don't know if it just seems like some people are wanting to say like, ooh, that's a bad suit right there. Really screwed it up. Not as good. It's not a great game now because of that. It's like, really? That's your reasoning? the game is suddenly not that great anymore because they made a suit for Miles that you didn't care for. It's like, man, there are other things in the world, more pressing matters to be complaining about, and this is what you choose to complain about.
Yes. Yes, this is exactly what I choose.
Uh, to expect every game to be perfect. And it's like, no, games are not going to be perfect. There's going to be flaws. There's going to be design choices that um, might not have been a good idea at the end of it, but it's just like, man, the developers were trying their best at the end of the day. And honestly, 2023 in general, this has actually been a pretty decent year for gaming because like I've always talked about how it's so hard trying to get into new games when a lot of the times newer games just aren't as good anymore. But this year has had a pretty good year for gaming. And yes, we've had a few bad games too, but like I'd say we should be very grateful for the amount of good games that we've been getting. And
Right.
Spider-Man 2 is one of those games that like even if there were some things that you may not have liked with Spider-Man 2, it's very clear that they really poured their heart into this game. And that's what we need to be searching for is those games that developers are really trying to give it all their all get like just pour their soul into a game, you know?
Yeah. I think the story felt a little bit rushed, like it was a little bit fast with its pacing.
A little bit. I will say that it was kind of quick. I think it was a great story, but I definitely get what you're saying. It was kind of rushed a little bit. Um, but yeah, I still don't understand the whole thing with people being like, "Ooh, game is hard." It's like, "Oh man, dude, you really think this game is hard?" It's look, dude. Have you never heard of a challenge before? That's what this game is trying to do. It's trying to give you something called a challenge. Now, if it's a little too challenging for you, there are other difficulty modes that might be a little bit easier for your level.
Ah,
But at the end of the day, like, they made other difficulties for people to be able to play. Because, yes, there are certain parts in the game that are quite challenging. But the whole point of the game is that you're going to sit there and you're going to replay, you're going to retry certain parts in the game quite a few times. But that's how pretty much every good game is going to be. Where you're going to sit there and you're going to have to retry like a boss fight quite a few times. It's completely normal. If you got through it all in one try, then it wouldn't be a challenge.
right.
Like, there's got to be some challenge to it. You got to be able to lose every once in a while. And that's how you learn, like, oh, this is what I did wrong. I will try and work on my technique here and try not to make the same mistake that I made before. And then eventually, you get through it. That's how it is with every good game that has a good challenge. Is eventually you figure it out and you're able to progress further into the game. Even the puzzles were
Yeah.
great. I liked the puzzles too.
Yeah.
And they were different. Like they were like I loved that about the first game too. is you had puzzles, but now they've made new puzzles for you to figure stuff out. And they're not too hard, you know, you just got to kind of sit there and be like, well, that didn't work. So let's try this. And eventually you just kind of, you know, you keep moving stuff around. And eventually you get it right and you're like, okay, yeah, we just need to put this here and that'll work. And there you go. You've progressed now. I am thankful that, like, it's not impossible to, like, get a platinum for Spider-Man. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I can enjoy a game when it's like, we're going to put a lot of stuff that you can do into this game. But it's like, yeah, but I don't have that much time to be able to dedicate to this one game just so I can get the platinum trophy. Because some of the stuff that they require you to do is just be like, we need you to beat the game in less than 10 hours without dying once. And on the hardest difficulty, it's like, I am not going to do that.
It's either something like that, or like they'll have trophies that's like, we want you to do this extremely tedious thing
Yeah.
to unlock trophy.
Like, what we want you to do is collect every single flower that you can find. And that's oh my god, please, no. Don't make me go and pick every single flower in the universe. It's like, come on, man. I mean, I know you're trying to find more things for us to do, but geez, give it a rest. It's like certain games like that where I'm just like, yeah, I think I'll just beat the main story, complete a few side missions, and then I'll call it a day. I'll move on. Yeah. Yep. There we go. Okay. I got. Also, gotta love the videos where they say like, "Oh, look at the slow swinging in Spider-Man 2," and you see it and you're like, "Wait a minute, this is in Spider-Man 2. Why are they slow swinging?" And then I realized, are you kidding me? He's jumping and holding square. He's repeatedly doing a swing kick over and over again. And it's like, it's not the swing. That's not the real swinging. You're just doing a swing kick over and over again to make it look like he's swinging slow throughout the city. Like, dude, if you have some actual genuine criticism against the game, by all means, share your criticism, but don't go out there to like fake evidence in the game, like, because no, the swinging is absolutely fantastic in Spider-Man 2. There is no slow swinging in the game. I mean, you can swing slow if you want to by choice, but you can also swing really, really, really fast and gain a ton of momentum and go absolutely flying through the city. But you have that option. If you just want to go for a nice chill swing through the city, nice and slow, you have that option. If you want to go super, super fast, you have that option.
Or if you don't want to swing at all, you can just fly.
Or walk. You can walk to your next destination. Oh, there's a crime nearby. I'm gonna make a slow little jog to the car chase that's happening nearby.
I'll get it. I ran out of webbing.
I'll catch it. My web shooters aren't functioning right now. Everybody, spoiler alerts. I'm just gonna throw spoiler alert out there.
You probably should have said that a
I
long time
probably
ago.
should have. Spoiler alerts to everybody right now. Also, I guess if we were talking beforehand, you probably should have just clicked away. But anyways, spoiler alert. Yeah, I definitely think I feel like Harry is not going to be Green Goblin. I think it's most likely going to be Norman.
Probably.
Because it doesn't seem like Harry, after everything went down, it didn't seem like Harry um, had any issue with Peter after he saved him from the symbiote.
Yeah.
Because there was
And
that
Norman,
side there was that side mission, that last side mission for the Emily May Foundation thing.
yeah.
Um, and Harry seemed to be in good spirits and everything. But then again, that could have been like an old recording or something. But I don't know. It definitely seemed like it wasn't old. But who knows? Either way, I
I
don't
think it
think
will probably.
because Norman seemed obviously very ticked off about Peter saving Harry, but Norman was obviously, like, he's got to go to the hospital. That means he might die. Norman just immediately jumped to the conclusions that Spider-Man just went all out on Harry. And it's like, that's not what happened, dude. He's lucky to be alive because, like, honestly, that was it was the only options that were available to Peter. Because honestly, like Dr. Connors was saying, yep, you're going to have to kill him. But Peter found a way to save Harry. So you're lucky he's even alive at all.
Yeah. So just because Norman is kind of blaming the Spider-Man for his son's condition now, so he probably is. So he most likely going to join
Yeah.
the Green Goblin, going after him.
So it makes me wonder if the G serum is actually meant for Norman. If he's actually going to end up using it to get revenge.
It's possible.
Because I wonder if the G serum is not just another, like, attempt to heal, but instead is just another, like, performance enhancer, like in a lot of, like, the other adaptations of Spider-Man and Green Goblin. It was always, like, meant to, like, enhance one's abilities and stuff, make them stronger and faster and everything.
Right.
But it never seemed like it was ever like a cure to something else. Um, but yeah, I'm assuming it's definitely for Norman. Unless we're totally wrong about that. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're wrong and Norman's going to give it to Harry. And what's going to happen is Harry's going to go absolutely insane. And that's what will make him turn into the Green Goblin. Because obviously,
That's
like,
also
the
a plus.
the side effects that come with the G serum and other versions is, like, yes, it enhances Norman's physical strength, but also makes him go completely crazy.
Maybe.
All
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
we did it. We got this car clean. Very nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, a
So
helicopter.
So yeah, it's pretty obvious they're probably gonna get the Goblin. It's also obvious that Octavius is gonna make a comeback.
And it makes me wonder, like that thing right there, like, is he going to be coming back, like, actually, like breaking out of prison or something like that, or is he just going to be like a mastermind working from the background, sort of thing, to help Norman out? I don't know, because that was another thing that I thought about. But then I thought, and I was like, they've got to be bringing Octavius back, because it would definitely seem like they're trying to make a new type of Sinister Six. I know that the previous members of the Sinister Six, some of them were killed, but what if they're trying to find new members, new villains to join and become a new version of the Sinister Six?
Hmm? I don't know. Maybe. I just don't. I don't know. Like I don't know if him and like maybe because obviously he hates Norman Osborn too. So I don't know that he'd be working with Norman.
I don't know. That's another thing too. Like, obviously, Octavius hates Norman's guts, but Octavius could also notice how desperate Norman is and want to take advantage of that. Because maybe, just maybe, after what happened in the first game, maybe Octavius now has a new hatred for Spider-Man that is greater than his hatred for Norman. Which I could see happening. Like, yeah, I don't like Norman, but I hate Spider-Man more, sort of thing, you know? I could see that happening.
That's interesting. Maybe.
It's a possibility. Either way, I see them making some sort of. Obviously, I see them becoming allies at some point. Now, of course, maybe what it could be is like Octavius is going to be using Norman just to, like, betray him later on or something. I could see that happening. So they work together at first, and then Doc Ock just betrays him at some point.
Yeah, I could see that maybe being a thing. Um,
But who knows? It's all up in the air. And the thing is, like, yes, obviously we could look to different many other adaptations and stuff to try and look for an answer, but we also have to remember that this is a new universe, so they can go by any new rules now. But we'll see what happens.
I've seen some people speculate that they might go kind of a superior Spider-Man route,
Mm-hmm.
where they have auto switching bodies with Peter and becoming Spider-Man.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's what the superior Spider-Man is. That storyline is auto switch his mind with Peter's mind, and then becomes the superior Spider-Man.
Interesting. Because I don't think I've ever been familiar with the Superior Spider-Man story.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Another thing that's interesting is one of the side missions with the spider bots, and that ends up like um, given the idea that like there is the existence of the Spider Verse, which makes sense because I mean, again, like PlayStation Spider Man is its own universe of Spider Man, so it's like it makes you wonder like whether in the next game or in a DLC or something, if there will actually be um, any of the Spider-Men from the Spider-Verse coming in uh, to the to one of the Insomniac games at any point. Even if it's just for like a side mission or something, that would be really cool if that happened. Because it would kind of be, you know, almost reminiscent of um, like No Way Home, where you got Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield all in one movie. That would be very interesting. I don't know if it'll happen, but just the fact that they had that mission and everything, um, it was really cool.
He's his daughter.
Uh huh.
Well, his daughter is a character that's known as Silk, which is another character with spider powers.
Oh wait, I think I've heard of that. I'm not too familiar with Silk, but I think I've seen the. I think I've seen Silk as another spider character. That's interesting. So I wonder if that's also like um another introduction of another spider character to be
It's
thrown
very
into the
possible.
mix. That'd be really cool. Because obviously, like we got that uh with the first game, introducing Miles, uh, with him eventually getting spider powers at the end. Obviously, leading us up to Spider-Man 2. Well, Miles Morales and then Spider-Man 2. Um, so I wonder if that's gonna be the thing. Like, if we'll just happen to stumble upon Silk at one point, just swinging through the city.
I don't know.
But that would be a very interesting way to go about it, though. Like, not even just like, oh, they got bitten by another spider, and now they've got spider powers. So now we're gonna train them. It's like, but they already did that story with Miles, though. You can't really recycle the same story that you've already done and try to do it with another character. No, I think it would be way better if they went about it just like, oh, you're a spider character too. And here you are with a costume and everything doing this out here. We didn't know there was another person who was another spider character. But I think that would be a better way to go about it than just another mentorship.
Yeah. Probably gonna be getting Carnage at some point.
Probably. Cause yeah, that one side mission with the flame and everything. And he gets another symbiote and he says Carnage at the end of it, and it's like, yep, well, we're gonna be getting Carnage at some point. I was a little bummed out though, because I thought it was gonna happen in the same game at some point that we are gonna be taking on
Same.
Carnage. But then I was like, oh, we gotta wait. We gotta wait again.
Oh,
I get it though, because you don't want to try and like cut through all the different Spider-Man villains too quickly. So I get that.
let's see. Chameleon could potentially be a thing too. Maybe.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot about Chameleon. Very clear that they were not gonna be villains anymore. Unless it's a thing where it's like somebody else, like there could always be a thing where it's like a villain, somebody else replaces the role of the other villain, just kind of takes the old suit and everything, and now goes under that name and everything. Obviously, Harry became Green Goblin after his father died. So in Spider-Man 3, he is Green Goblin, but he's got a completely different look, and he's upgraded some of the tools and stuff that his father left behind. So I wonder if they'll do the same sort of thing with any other characters if they decide to like make it one of those things where it's like they um they do want to just have somebody replace another character but under the same name. They should like alter the super suit a little bit and give them like an upgrade of some sort. Give
Yeah.
them a little bit more surprises. That way like it's not like, oh, it's, I don't know, Scorpion or something. Let's just say like Scorpion. Oh, it's Scorpion. We know what to do for him. We've dealt with him before. And then it's like he throws out a completely different surprise because it's a completely different person in the suit. And they'd be like, "Oh, we've never dealt with that before." I wasn't expecting that.
I am playing through Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, you're playing through Metal Gear Solid.
I am.
Nice. Yeah, I've already beat the first one.
Of course you have.
You know how long that one took me to play it?
Like 2 seconds.
Only 9 hours.
Jesus Christ. Oh. I'm
And
only at. Where am I at? I'm at the cyborg ninja fight. That's where I'm at.
oh yeah, that one was interesting because like uh and then you'll find this a lot with a lot of the boss fights where you're stuck there trying to figure out what you're supposed to do. Um, but yeah, like that one's a little challenging. Cause yeah, first off, you've got to do it like melee fighting. No use of like firearms or anything. You have to fight him hand to hand. Because you use your gun, he's just gonna keep blocking it with the sword.
What?
Um, but then like, because what's so interesting about it is like you cannot just rush straight at him. You got to kind of get to a point to where you see him. He's gonna make a move, and you're gonna run in the opposite direction until he finishes his combo, and then he's gonna backflip back, and that's your chance to attack him.
Yeah. he hurts a lot
Oh, yes,
when you
he
get hit.
does. He packs quite a punch, and it only gets harder from there.
Yeah, I got to the last stage of that fight, and my God, he just one shot you in the last stage.
Oh, no, what happened?
Game session closed
Ah,
by the host.
crap, man. Which that's another thing. Basically, every time that you get a new card, you always want to backtrack to some of the rooms that you couldn't get to before so that you can get better equipment because man, that really helps. When he's walking up to you and he does the teleport and then the mega punch thing that he does. That one's actually not too bad when you figure out the rhythm, which is basically he walks up to you and as soon as he's close to you, he teleports and then does the mega punch. So when he teleports, you just gotta quickly move out of the way, and then he throws the punch, and that's your chance to attack him.
Or you just use the chaff grenades. Throw
Oh
them.
yeah, I completely forgot that was an option. Why didn't I never? I've been doing it the hard way. I've
I
completely forgot
actually,
about those.
I almost had him beat one time, and I ran out of chaff grenades. I was like, well,
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh yeah. The It's so funny to me because chaff grenades are mainly used in the first and a little bit in the second. But after that, chaff grenades are basically useless in the rest of the Metal Gear Solid games. Cuz you can still get them, but like there's not much that you can actually use them for because there's not a whole lot of cameras in the game and stuff like that. I mean, you can use it like on some enemies to an extent, but it really doesn't do that much, especially in the third. I don't even know why they put chaff grenades on the third because I don't even I don't even think they really have any use in the third game. Um but yeah, oh, and then you get to the part where he's doing like the force field thing. At that point, you can actually just pull out your FAMAS and just shoot him when the force field is down. Uh, do try to keep a safe distance though, because if you get him with when the force field is up, the bullets. I'm pretty sure the bullets just fly right back to you. So you want to try and stay a good distance away. That way they don't come back directly to you. But yeah, always expect some challenge in each of the boss fights. I would say though, probably the easiest one was probably the tank fight. Cause all you gotta do is throw the chaff grenade out there. And then you just keep just chucking frag grenades up. And
Yeah.
that's it. Definitely
That,
the easiest boss fight in the whole game.
when I first started, when you first get out there, I didn't know about the mines. I didn't know you needed a mine detector.
Oh yeah. Did you not get the call from Deep Throat?
And you don't get it till you get out there.
Well, yeah, but he's supposed to call you before you even reach the mines. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but definitely get ready for that Psycho Mantis fight because that's the one that's gonna be like you're gonna start like frantically trying to figure out what the fuck you're supposed to be doing. It is
Oh boy.
it's very interesting though, because it's something you would never even think of doing.
Oh great.
Um, and you may need to call on your codec a few times to figure out what it is. But oh boy, it's really gonna have you very confused. Obviously, you've talked to Meryl and everything. How was it trying to figure that part out?
Figure figure what out?
How to call her?
I was a little bit confused. Like it's on the back of this. Like how do I look at the back of the disc?
Yeah, because it's Cause yeah, I was mentioning like how they now have the online manual now, because you don't have the CD case anymore. It's the online manual that you got to look at, and you got to look at the very back of it. Um, but yeah,
Eventually, I figured it out. Eventually, like I had the disc equipped, and I opened up my codec and went, and I think if you press down, it gives you who you can call, and then I saw her name, probably like, oh, okay, there she is.
that's funny.
You just gotta hold the thing in your hand, and he knows.
Yeah, yeah. That was something that was hard for my first playthrough of the game way back when. Um, cause yeah, I was sitting there like, wait a minute, back of the CD case? What do you mean back of the CD case? I'm sitting there, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. You just handed me an optical disc. I'm looking at the optical disc. I'm like, this doesn't seem right. I can't look at the back of this.
Yeah,
then I was,
like
then I,
I even like went back to the room where the guy was that gave you this, and like, did I missed something back here? Was there a case I was supposed to grab?
right, cause that's your assumption. You're thinking it's something in game that you're looking for, and then it's like, wait a minute. And then I pick up the actual physical CD case of the game. I look on the back of it, and you just see this little box where it shows you talking to Meryl, and there's her code on it. And I'm like, oh my god, the actual CD case has it on it. Oh my god. I was
I didn't have the CD case here. I don't have the game. I can't do that.
And it's so funny because I remember being so upset, but at the same time, once it was over, I was like, "That is the most genius thing I have ever heard of." It's like legitimately just look, because like when you're playing a story game, you're you're not expecting the character to break the fourth wall all the time, but it's so clever the way that Metal Gear does it, because you don't even notice it sometimes. And they do it so subtly, but it's like, yeah, just check the back of the CD case. And it's like, literally, check the back of the CD case. What do I do? Then when you do figure it out, you just kind of you slap yourself in the face because you're just like, what the fuck? I am such an idiot. That was so simple, and yet so hard somehow.
When you get out there and he tells you about the mine detector and you have to go back to find it, I hated it's pissing me off trying to go back through that laser grid.
Uh
Because, like, with the view of the game, like, it's kind of hard to tell where you are, so sometimes, like, you think you're not in the laser, it's like, oh, nope, laser caught you. It's like, well, god fucking damn it.
yeah. And unfortunately, with that point, like there's no going back. There's no like hiding. You're just screwed. Like even if you have, which I don't know if you have the gas mask at that point. I'm
I
not
don't think so.
sure. Yeah, I don't think you got it yet. Um, but yeah, like at that point, you're just dead. I will say though that eventually, whenever you do go back through there, there is a point in the game where the laser grid is finally turned off, and at that point, it's like, oh, thank God, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Even
You get this.
yeah, even with like the it's old school. The top down view is a little weird and everything, and the controls. I will say the controls are much better than playing it originally, because playing it on the PlayStation 1, it's like sometimes your character would not do what you were telling your character to do. But now it's a little bit smoother, and I do appreciate that. One thing I don't like is the fact that you can't get rid of like the borders on the side. Like you can turn off the custom border thing and just make it black on either side, but it's also like there's no custom aspect ratio or anything. There's no way to make it widescreen or nothing. No, I'm just stuck like this.
You're stuck with
Okay.
the original
Yep.
aspect ratio.
Yep. That's what I'm stuck with. Okay. Sure. And it's like I kind of wish that they did a little bit more with that to make it fit the screen better. Um but yeah, it is what it is, and I still appreciate having it.
One thing that I end up doing sometimes on accident in the middle of fights. Most of the, well, it's pretty much almost in the middle of fights. Like I did it like a lot of like during the tank fight. Like uh, I'd accidentally start crawling.
Yeah.
I'm blowing myself up because I throw a grenade and accidentally start crying like shit.
That's something that I do sometimes, because on later versions of Metal Gear Solid, if you press X while running, you do a roll out of the way. I forget. I forget every once in a while that the first game does not have the roll yet. It's just the crawl. So I'll be running and I'm going to be like, no problem. I'm going to dodge this gunfire. Nope, I'm going to crawl.
Dodge. Okay, this is pissing me off. Where is the dirt on this goddamn landing gear? I don't see it.
Oh, in the wheel.
There we go. God, finally.
Well, now where else is there? It's so hard to see because this thing is red and yellow. Ah, there we go. Okay.
Hydraulic piping, water tank doors. Well, I have a question. Why in the Revolver Ocelot fight would they put an ammo crate right beside the fucking wires you're not supposed to touch?
I really don't know, and I wonder if that's supposed to be like, oh, you want this ammo? Be careful. Don't get too close. You want that ammo? You gotta carefully grab it. Which is just like, look, guys, I know you wanted to try and add a little bit of difficulty, but like, you really didn't have to do that. That was a little bit much.
Oh.
Okay, what? Wait, but how do we get in?
I don't. We need extensions.
You're telling me that somebody hired us to clean the mayor's mansion. But they won't even open the gate to allow us to do it efficiently.
Hey, I will jump over the fence. Hup. Never mind.
You know, the graffiti makes me think that we don't like our beloved mayor too much. What has probably been your favorite game that we've ever played together?
Oh, we've ever played together? Oh, that's difficult.
It could be one that we still play from time to time. It could be one that we haven't played in a while. I'm I'm not 100% sure either, but I think one that we always seem to go back to like over and over again and we still play pretty consistently would be Phasmophobia.
Oh yeah.
We play that game so much and it's just every time it never gets old playing it. I mean, it's still scary despite us playing it for so long. It's still absolutely terrifying. And they keep updating it, so they keep making it even scarier. But also, it's funny too. There's certain things that you can do in it that make it kind of funny. I think that would probably be probably one of the best games that we've ever played together. And still holds up so well, even though it's not brand new. It's still one that we continue to play over and over again.
Yeah. Um, Another one that I would put up there is The Forest.
Oh yeah, in terms of
That is,
story, it's got an amazing story.
yeah. Like, for a survival game, like it's probably the best survival game we've ever played. I would say.
Mm-hmm.
We really need to get back into the Sons of the Forest. I think, but
Yeah, but I think what the issue with that is I don't know if it's necessarily complete yet.
it just have another update. So
They may have added some more stuff, but yeah, I think the issue with that was kind of the same issue with the original was for the longest time at first the forest was just kind of it wasn't a full game yet. It was just you get in, you survive, yada yada yada. You can explore some of the story stuff. And I wonder if that's kind of the same with Sons of the Forest too. But I'm not for certain. They could already have an ending for it, but also it could still be one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can technically beat the game, but this isn't really fully what the game is supposed to be. Because it seems like they are definitely doing like a sort of test thing with it. Um, that definitely seems to be the case. Because Sons of the Forest, it's a great game, but you can tell like the last few times that we've played it, it definitely seemed like there was still more that they needed to do. Oh,
got it.
okay.
I wonder. Get me out of my. There we go. All right. How about we each go through. We can each pick. We each pick like. We each give like our top three favorite games that we've played together.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you go first?
Do you want to do like, where we just each just give our three, or do we want to do like I'll give one of mine, then you give one of yours, and I give one of mine, then you give one of yours type deal?
Uh, why don't you just go ahead and just do all three, and then I'll do all three.
Well, let's say we already mentioned the forest, Phasmophobia, so I'll try and come up with a different three.
It might be easier to clean that way.
Let's see. I think. All right. So first off, I'm gonna put. I have two games I'm gonna put together as one because they're very similar games, and that's gonna be. I'm gonna put GTA and Red Dead together in one thing. I think,
Okay.
and then I would say. What else? Oh, Black Ops 3 Zombies. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Um, and then I would say. Uh, um, oh, Minecraft maybe would be my third one. I think.
Okay. Well, should I go for some different answers then?
You go for whatever you want.
Okay. Yeah. For the sake of just naming more games and stuff, I'll try to come up with some different answers, even though those are definitely some good answers. I would say. Um, uh, Power Wash Simulator. It's a good game because it's just one of those games where you don't really have to worry about anything. You know, it's just you get in, you just kind of chill, basically, and
Yeah.
you just clean stuff. Even though cleaning in real life is terrible, but this is soothing to the mind and everything. Um, but what's another good one? Um, ooh, I'm cheating. Uh, this makes things a little easier.
You're cheating.
just, just
Wow.
definitely makes things a little easier. Maybe GTA or no, you already said that. Sorry. Um, maybe Gmod.
Not a bad pick.
I remember some fond memories in Gmod. Um, I remember I remember some good moments playing PUBG back in the day.
Yeah.
No, we haven't done that one in a while, but there were some times where PUBG was a lot of fun. What are some what are some very memorable moments for you whenever we would uh, do something together on the channel?
God, I don't know.
Like the who's line thing, and then maybe adding like more rules to that. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um, what else?
I'll be right back.
All right.
we're talking about best memories, right?
Yes.
Oh, why the lag? Okay, we're good. Um, there we go. Uh, I think. Hmm. Our our role playing that we do in Red Dead and GTA Online was always hilarious and fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That was always enjoyable. And I still wish that we were able to actually jump into roleplay servers because I think that would
Yeah,
make it even more fun to have other people who are involved with it and everything.
yeah,
And I feel like we would actually be able to learn something from that too because these are people who are used to doing role play a lot, and to be able to actually learn how to role play properly and everything. I always thought would be really cool to be able to do, but unfortunately, it just seems like getting onto role play servers is really hard to do now.
yeah.
But yeah, either way, I would have loved to be able to do that, but being able to just do it with you on just normal servers and stuff was still a lot of fun to do. Um, always always had a good time doing stuff like that.
Oh, here's something. We can't we can't forget that the band started on your channel before we made our own for the band.
Of course, yes. That's where we started. Was on this channel. But then, like, yeah, like the reason I wanted that to change was I wanted the stuff that I was doing on my channel and the stuff that we were doing as a band to remain separate. Um, I never wanted either one to like overshadow the other in any way.
Yeah.
So I wanted them to be separate. Like, this is what we do for music, and this is what we do for gaming. This is what I do for gaming on my channel, and this other channel is what we do for music, and they are very separate things. Um, but yeah, that was something that started. Um, oh man, you know something? I got taken way even further back though. I remember when we were gonna be like a stunt channel.
Oh God.
We were gonna do stunts and pranks. Basically, was what we were gonna do. That is what we were doing at first, and I just remember the uh, the slide bouncer.
That's probably still one of the funniest videos ever. That was hilarious.
Yeah, man, what a time! It was so much
Oh
fun to
yeah.
do that, and even though it hurt, it hurt, but it really hurt. But even though I was hurting, I was still laughing. I had fun doing it, and I would not change a thing about what happened to that day. Because it was fun. It was fun. I knew it was fun and funny. Had to have been funny to watch, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I was dying laughing. So yeah.
Yeah. But man, oh man, that really takes me back though.
Uh, uh, well, let's not forget the time when we thought that we can make movies.
Oh man, that wasn't even something we officially did. Like,
That's true. We thought about it, we wanted to do it, but we never did it.
yeah, but
We were gonna
I
make a Legacy of Kane movie.
yeah, I remember. I remember that. Man,
Good times.
I I'm kind of glad we didn't though, cuz man, we were just a bunch of naive kids that didn't know what it all took to really make a movie.
Uh,
I mean, it would be cool though, like if there was ever the opportunity to like um do the voices. I mean, honestly, like I would jump at the chance to do voice acting for like any sort of game. But if they announce a Legacy of Kain game and we're looking for people to audition, I would so jump at that chance. Like and while I would love to do Raziel, I wouldn't even care if it was one of the side characters or something. I would so jump at the chance. Like if there was a chance that I could actually be any one of them, I would jump at that chance, 100%. And because like also like I already know the lines very well. Like
obviously.
I've got like most of the lines memorized. No problem.
Maybe
You
even
need
most. I think you have the entire game memorized.
maybe at least some of them. I'm not sure about all of them, but I know I could at least recite Soul Reaver 1, Soul Reaver 2, Defiance. I can do probably about 95% of the dialogue. But yeah, like I I I I would be able to like do something um um true to the character and everything. I would not care too much about which character I am. Cuz even if they decided like okay, we don't think you can do Raziel, but we think you could probably do like I don't know. If they said that I could do like Mobius or something, I would be like no problem. I've got that. I can do that. I can do Mobius. I feel like I can do Mobius pretty well. I used to suck at it, but after a few years, I was like, no problem. Like weird, like sneaky old man that ends up being a way bigger threat than you realize. It's like, man, I can nail the voice on that type of character, no problem.
Uh,
I'm sure I could do. one of Raziel's brothers pretty well, I'm sure. And I wouldn't even care if like that it's a small role, but still like it would be such a big deal to me to be able to do something like that.
Yeah. You used to do a pretty decent Melchiah, didn't you?
Yeah, but honestly though, I like Melchiah's voice. However, I don't know if I could really deliver that full thing because it's like it's deep, yet you also gotta kind of mix an almost kind of Gollum sort of voice to it, and it was like I can do one or the other. I cannot mix them. That I would struggle with is being able to mix both of those into one voice. I don't know if I could do that. Um, So maybe being like Rahab or Duma or something, I could probably do. And Terrell. I don't know so much about Zephon though, because that was that was Tony J doing that voice, and Tony J just has this very natural, deep voice. And sure, he altered it a little bit, to make it more insect like. But still, I don't think I could do that as well. Also, definitely could not do Elder God. Because again, Tony J, may he rest in peace. I don't think I could do it. But yeah, I would definitely jump at the chance at playing a character in Legacy of Kain. Just let me look at the script first. I don't want to be handed a script that looks anything like Dead Son. As soon as I see the words fuck or you or vampire, actually you and vampire are fine. Just don't let me read fuck you vampire in the fucking game. I swear to God, cuz seriously, like just thinking the early games of Legacy of Kain, the rich dialogue, and suddenly here comes Dead Son. Thank God that game was canceled because the dialogue in that was so terrible. Really, the best thing you could come up with is fuck you, vampire. Your mothers must be proud. But yeah, like that would definitely be the thing. Like, give me some good dialogue at least. Please. I want some good dialogue. I'm just gonna I'm gonna let my character just auto spray for a little bit. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay. How's our progress looking?
82%.
Ah! What? Oh. Oh my god, it's
What?
stairs. It's the stairs.
Why can't I put it over
I
here?
just see red flash across my face. Well, another thing that we could probably talk about that will probably be talked about for the last time on the channel is music.
Okay. What about music?
Well, um, we could talk a bit about song meanings.
If you want to.
Okay.
Which song do you want to talk about?
Um. Well, we can start in order on the latest album, Uncaged.
Alright. So the first song, I believe, was Death Toll.
Yeah, Death Toll. Um, we can probably go like one at a time. Do you want to handle this one first?
Um, yeah, I guess I could. Alright, so basically Death Toll is it's about mass shootings and kind of the effects that they have on people and uh, what else was it? It was mass shootings with a little bit of gun control mixed in there, I think, is what it was.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Mass shootings, um, which could be anything, really. Like even like school shootings, because we also kind of mix that in there. Like how wanted to talk about how people are dying, yes, but also like children are included in that. Um, and I think that's something that a lot of people fail to realize a lot of the time is in these shootings is like children are literally dying and nothing seems to be done about it. And I know a lot of people have a lot of mixed feelings when it comes to gun control, and a lot of people wonder whether gun control is going to do anything. But at the end of the day, it's very clear that something needs to be done. And a lot of people make that kind of argument like, oh, if you do gun control, like people are still going to find a way to break the law. And it's like, yeah, but that can be for anything, though. I mean, uh, we have laws when it comes. We have traffic laws and stuff like that, to prevent accidents and stuff and prevent people from driving like complete and total maniacs. Obviously, there are still going to be maniacs who get behind the wheel and there's still going to be accidents. But the traffic laws help make it so that it lessens the chances of people actually getting into accidents. It's not going to completely get rid of it indefinitely. However, it is going to help things when we have these traffic laws in there. And that's kind of like the basic idea. Like, obviously, like, there's a lot of mass shootings going on. Um, and it just lets people, like, and I think a lot of people have the wrong idea when it comes to gun control, that we're just gonna, like, everybody's guns are gonna be taken away and everything. It's like, no, that's not the case. Nobody that is actually, like, when you think about it, nobody wants to take anybody's guns, because the thing about it is, like, gun control is like, we want stricter gun laws, but we don't want to infringe on anybody's rights. Therefore, there will be steps that will need to be taken. Like, there needs to be, further testing and stuff to ensure that the right person is able to purchase a gun in this country and everything, because obviously you wouldn't hand a driver's license to just anybody, right? The same should be said for people who want to get a gun. It's just basic stuff like that. A lot of people, kind of jump the gun and to assumptions that, like, it's, oh, they're gonna take everybody's guns. It's like, no, you're jumping the gun there, because that's not what's happening. I'm sure there are some radicals out there that want to just take everybody's gun, but they can't do that because that is a complete violation of rights. No, most people who want gun control, it's literally just better gun control. Gun control that may help prevent mass shootings. And we see this with, like, other countries and stuff. There's other countries that have gun control. And the thing is, those countries, you can still purchase a firearm. It's just within certain reason, and these countries that have gun control, it has actually helped their country. Obviously not for all of them, because, some of them are a little bit crazier than others. But for the most part, like, there's countries like, I think it's Scotland. Scotland had, I think, quite a few mass shootings. And there was one really bad one they had. But then they got more gun control. And they have never had another mass shooting since. Now, again, this is not something that's saying, like, America's going to have no mass shootings at all, but it will probably lessen the chances. A song that kind of deals with personal problems that I've had with family members growing up and even into adulthood. I just always had these moments, like, where I felt very trapped and was never truly understood at times. And then I remember moving out and finally feeling free but I wasn't. Uh, because, um, you know, I would still have family members um, who just thought that they could come over, and even times with some of them where they would point fingers at other family members saying that they were the problem. And at first I would believe it. But in reality, like, the ones who were pointing fingers were the real problem because they were just trying to deflect the true issue and everything. And then I moved again and actually moved to where one of my family members, we actually lived in the same house, and it was just a whole ordeal because everything started fine until they stopped listening to me. They stopped listening to what I would request. They would make all these requests out of me, and I would try to honor them, but would blatantly ignore the requests that I made. And they were very simple requests. I would basically do everything, and they would do nothing, but have the nerve to say that I was not doing enough. And would bring all sorts of different people around, people who would end up getting them in trouble. And you would think that that would mean, like, oh, don't let these people come by, but it was like they would still come by somehow. Somehow we're going to completely trust the druggies and stuff like that. Um, I just the amount of trust in complete and total strangers. I remember one time they said, like, "Oh, I don't feel safe around this person who I invited over," and I remember thinking, "Why are they here then?" Um, but I remember Manai had moved in with me during that whole thing, and we were both in agreement that what was going on was not right. Um, I looked after their dog and everything while they were away, and they didn't even bother to ask. They just took off, and I was forced to take care of the dog because I wasn't about to just let a poor defenseless dog fend for itself. On top of the fact that I was also taking care of two other dogs that were mine, but I was now taking care of a puppy and a pit bull puppy at that. When originally it was supposed to be a Pomeranian, something a little bit more manageable. But no, it was a pit bull. And there was this bullcrap excuse saying, "Oh, it's not going to get that big." Bull crap. That thing got so freaking big so quickly. And they just did not take care of that dog well at all. It was basically to the point where it was like it was almost like he was my dog at that point. The same going for the cat. There was a cat before too. I ended up taking care of because she got the dog. Anyways, I shouldn't go into too much detail, but basically the idea of cage is like the feeling of never feeling free it's the illusion that you're free, but in reality you're still you can still feel stuck at times. Um, but that's that.
Nice.
What's next after Cage?
I think after Cage is Black and Dreams.
Black and Dreams.
So who's taking this one?
I mean, you basically get the basic idea of it, I think.
Well, yeah, it's pretty obvious.
So you can
So,
take the reins on this one if you want.
okie dokie. Oh, not cleaned here. What? Alright, so Black and Dreams is basically it's a song about basically it's depression and suicide and this was it's like being in that, and I think that's probably a place where probably a lot of people have been at one point in time in their life. And unfortunately for some, they don't come out of that and they end up taking their own life. So it's basically just a song just kind of going over kind of that feeling, what that like, and it's also there to kind of tell you that everything's going to be okay. Even you just gotta get through these dark times, and everything will be okay. I don't know really what else to say.
Yeah, that's the basic idea of it. Okay. What's next after that?
I think no, Plague. Plague is next.
Plague. Got it. Well, Plague basically ended up having kind of multiple meanings to it. Because Plague, we were kind of writing kind of towards the end of, well, not really the end per se, but COVID was just finally starting to kind of die down a little bit. But that was one reason for the song Plague. It was just a lot of craziness going on, and now there's this huge pandemic affecting the entire world. And just a lot of people were scared, didn't really know what to do. We were all kind of panicking about this disease that could easily kill somebody. Sometimes it depended on age too. Until we realized, there were different strands of it coming out, and it got to the point to where it was like, nope, it no longer matters what age you are, or whether you have a health condition or not. You can be completely healthy and just be like in your 20s or something, and you can still die from it because it kept evolving. But that's not the only thing. Like, there were a lot of things happening in 2020, and it seems like some of it is still like carrying on into today. There's been a lot of shootings going on, police brutality has been going on, and it seems like now there's been a lot of just corruption affecting many different uh, many different types of professions and stuff. You know, people that we're supposed to look up to and rely on, who are being of absolutely no help to us. And it's very hard. But and I'm sure there were probably other problems uh, going on, but that is the basic idea of the song Plague. You know, you've got an actual disease, and so we decided to just name the song Plague because it's like not only do we have a literal disease, but also a more metaphorical disease.
The next one's yours again. It's Sunshine.
Oh yeah. Um, well, that one, as I actually wrote that not too long after, um, not too long after we had Evelyn, my daughter, and so I wrote that song for her, and eventually someday I hope she gets to hear it. Because I definitely thought that, you know, even though a lot of our songs have very dark subject matters and everything, I thought it would be nice to have a little happiness, little ray of sunshine to the doom and gloom that we are surrounded by. And that's sunshine. What is the next song?
Next one would be Knife from My Back, but that doesn't have any lyrics. It's just instrumental.
It does have
So,
somewhat of a meaning, though.
does it?
Oh, yeah, it's just, you know, because that was kind of, it's almost kind of an anthem to the band, almost. But, you know, Knife from My Back, it's basically the theme for Nerves of the Betrayed, almost. I would almost call it. But yeah, it's about betrayal, basically, and how we've dealt with many forms of betrayal from bandmates, from friends, from family members, and yeah, that is Knife from My Back. Basically, you know, trying to pull forward after being betrayed so many times, just trying to pull the knife from your back and pull the knife from our backs and just keep on moving.
All right. In God we used to trust.
Uh, let's see. Do you know that one?
No.
No.
Not really.
Okay. Well, that one also kind of focuses on a lot of you know, corruption, basically. Um, in God we used to trust. You know, uh, I picked that title because we have, you know, like on money and stuff, we have "and God we trust" printed on it, um, which ironically enough is very funny because, you know, a lot of people say that, well, the founding fathers wanted this to be a Christian country and everything, because look, it says "in God we trust" on the money and stuff, everything. And it's like, that wasn't actually something that the founding fathers put down, though. If I'm not mistaken, that was something that was made up in the 1950s, I believe. So not factual that the founding fathers wanted this to just be a Christian country. But also, there's more to it. Like, in God we used to trust is more than just, it's not necessarily talking about a Christian God or any form of God at all. But really, like, God could be looked at as just simply that entity of good, personification of good, basically, which basically has been lost a long time ago. And it's hard to know if you can actually trust everyone to be a good individual or not. It's just so corrupt everywhere you look. So many politicians that are corrupt, and just hard to escape that, basically. All right, what's the next one?
The mountain.
Ah, Jesus, a lot of mine. Okay, well, the mountain was one that I wrote. This one also kind of trying to be a little bit more hopeful. But it's simply, I wanted to, I feel like I'm very open-minded when it comes to religion and stuff. And so I felt like this was kind of an open-minded sort of song. Because I believe that there may be a God out there. And if he truly is real, I would like to imagine that there is a good God. And that when eventually we die, I kind of imagined this song where it was like, you're climbing up a mountain when you die. And eventually you reach the top and you meet this creator. But either way, like, whether you believe in a God or not, it's just that the basic message is hope. To never give up hope. Because eventually, like, you might be able to find it at one point. You might be able to find the solution that you were looking for all along.
One that I could finally do.
Which one is this one? Oh, cool. You got that one.
Hey!
Huh?
So.
Oh,
What?
there you are.
I'm over here. Alright, so. 4 to 2 was about basically the downfall of the original band and kind of why we failed and just kind of all the problems that we had in the beginning, and just kind of the problems we had, and then being betrayed by a couple of our other members and stuff like that. Basically, just why the Blood Brothers failed, I guess, is a good way to put it. Walking Heaven's Gate is next.
Locking Heaven's Gate.
Indeed.
Well, this one's basically about. Oh, jeez.
Why is not clean? Good to God.
It's this center pull ring, but I'm trying to find. Oh, there it is. Got it. I've been sitting here for a while trying to figure out what in the world is not clean on this thing. Where is the dirt? But the I would say that the basic meaning behind this song was basically that the war between like religion and science basically, and war between religion versus religion basically, just how evil some can be, and how it's all just it's all just a bunch of like, oh, you have to believe in this thing, or you're terrible, or you're wrong or something, that sort of ideal, especially when it comes to like Christianity and everything. I'm not saying like, if you're a Christian, you're just a terrible person. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there are bad Christians out there. A lot of bad Christians. And at the end of the day, they need to be held accountable for what they do, because they point fingers saying this and that about other types of people, being like groomers and stuff like that. But it's actually funny because Christians love to do that one. Also very funny because like the whole thing with the drag queen thing. Oh, we're gonna make this big deal about drag queens. Ooh, they're pedophiles. It's like, but if you look up like recent pedophiles and stuff, or you just look up like pastor sex offender pedophile type thing, you get several results when it comes to that. But I've yet to hear any news about a drag queen being a pedophile. And maybe there is one if you do a bit of digging, but just search in like this year, and it'll be very hard to find one from a drag queen. But you'll be able to find plenty from pastors, supposed men of God, the men that you're supposedly supposed to trust. No, they would never hurt a fly. They would never do something so evil. Then why do I hear about it all the time? Christians won't let certain religions believe what they want to believe, and other religions won't let other religions believe what they want to believe. Scientists won't let religious people believe what they want to believe. Religious people won't let scientists believe what they want to believe. It's just an endless cycle of everybody has to compete with each other about who's right. And at the end of the day, regardless of who you all think is right, you're all wrong because you choose to compete with each other. And that's why you will never be right, because you continue to fight with each other about something so silly. Who cares what other people believe? That's what they believe. Leave them alone. And that's the basic idea of the song. Caged, though. Uncaged is basically finally just accepting that it's kind of the same thing as Cage, except it's finally accepting that certain people just, and my family and stuff, they're just not going to change. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that as well. Like, you've got certain people that you know, friends, family. You just gotta accept that they're assholes sometimes. And you can either sit there and allow them to keep hurting you, or you can just make the decision to see them less and less. And that's kind of what I've ended up doing. Because you just realize that some people will never change. You try to talk to them, reason with them, and they're going to gaslight you. So you just have to make the decision that you're not going to let those people hurt you anymore. And that's the basic idea with Uncaged.
Nice.
There you have it. We do have more music that is coming out soon, but we won't spoil those just yet, since they're not actually officially released yet. We do need to get those edited and everything.
We also have a live stream performance coming up. We don't have any exact dates or times worked out yet, but that is coming.
Yes.
Hopefully sometime soon.
Hopefully. We do hope so.
Look like it.
Oh.
Okay, we got it.
Okay. After my YouTube channel is done, we'll be making music still. You'll be able to find that. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been TB Weez.
I'm Kylealw.
And we're out.